talk about him too much. We want to tell people what we're going to do for them. Yeah. Healthcare, environment, those kind of issues. For example, I've seen you on TV a lot in the last couple of years. I know everything you know, or that you tell us, about the Russian situation. I don't have a clue what you think about healthcare. I've never heard it. Yeah. I don't know whether you're for Medicare for all, or improve Obamacare, or get a chicken. I don't know what.
Well, we know that this whole smear on Joe Biden comes from the Kremlin. That's been clear for well over a year now, that they've been pushing this false narrative about the vice president and his...
We brought attention to Bill Maher's criticism of Adam Schiff a few days ago, revealing the glaring hypocrisy that has been plaguing the already struggling Democratic Party. We're giving you the follow-up today, which is a more incisive examination of Schiff's duplicitous political behavior and what can only be called a full-fledged fixation with Donald Trump. This chapter elevates the critique to a new level, so fasten your seatbelt. This is the ideal time for you to subscribe if you haven't already. If you don't, you might miss the next round of politically charged outbursts that are too dramatic to ignore. Moreover, what about the Office of Legal Opinion? My position has always been clear. It starts with the authority of the official counsel laying out its argument.
Number one, that the Office of Legal Counsel opinion that you can't indict a sitting president was wrong.
Oh, good.
That, in fact, you can indict a sitting president. I think there are prudential reasons not to try someone who's the President of the United States, but particularly when there's any risk of the statute of limitations running. If the president commits a crime, they should be indicted, and you should stay prosecution. So, but frankly, I had no expectation that that would be the course Mueller would take, even if the evidence supported it, because he is fundamentally conservative, and I don't mean left-right conservative, but he was going to follow the established policy. He was not going to make new ground. So I didn't think it was realistic to expect that he would indict the president. And those that did, I think, were unrealistic in their expectations.
Adam Schiff essentially made criticizing Donald Trump into a personal anthem for the first 4 years. To be clear, that wasn't just plain criticism. It was almost obsessional. I understand now. It is a Democrat, Schiff. Naturally, he will support Biden and react angrily whenever Trump even speaks. The most important question, though, is whether America actually needs that at this time. Instead than treating party allegiance like a set of rules, shouldn't leaders be free to admit wrongdoing within their own ranks? The last thing this nation needs is more partisan mouthpieces who are feigning to fight for justice when all they are doing is sowing discord in our already precarious political environment. The party line is not where accountability ends. However, Schiff doesn't appear to care about any of that. He prioritizes maintaining control for his side while ignoring the issues facing regular Americans. To be honest, people are sick of it. You're probably wondering where I'm going with this at this point. That's a valid question, and after we watch this video, I'll address it again shortly.
This is our big gun. Now it just looks like you're stalking him. I think in the eyes of the people who don't follow it that closely, which is most of the country, here's the thing about Bob Mueller. He's like the last person, maybe the last thing in America that left and right agreed on. Left and right basically agreed. This is a guy of honor. This is an honest guy. This is an honest broker. Whatever he says goes. Americans are not into details. Don't read it to me, Bob. Just give me a thumbs up, a thumbs down. The fact that he was like, if you couldn't impeach before, how you gonna?
Was it Bill Maher who referred to Adam Schiff as a Trump stalker? To be honest, that label wasn't too far away. Schiff at the time viewed impeachment as a personal mission, determined to get rid of Trump no matter the cost or the absence of concrete proof. Despite the fact that Robert Mueller, the special counsel for the Department of Justice, had no concrete evidence, he promoted the Russia collusion story as though it were fact. Schiff continued to fuel the fear on TV night after night despite the lack of concrete evidence or a blazing gun. He was unrelenting, unyielding, and practically desperate for Trump to lose. It hardly mattered when the facts weren't in agreement. Schiff was after media attention and partisan glory rather than the facts. Such fervor reduces due process to an afterthought. Schiff's hypocrisy is being dismantled piece by Maher, and more is to follow.
Here's the awful dilemma that we face. If we don't impeach him, that sends a message that this kind of conduct, this obstruction of justice, this kind of willing use of the help of a foreign adversary, all the lies and cover-up, that this is non-impeachable. At the same time, if we do impeach him, and he is acquitted as he would likely be acquitted, then the message is those are not impeachable offenses. At the end of the day, Bill, there's only one way to deal with this problem, whether we impeach him or not, and that is to vote his ass out of office.
The goal of Schiff's mission was power, never justice. From the beginning, he was prepared to employ any strategy required to remove Trump and install a leader who was favored by the party. The equation did not include justice or truth. Upon closer inspection, it becomes clear that his purported quest for responsibility was anything but honorable. It ultimately came down to giving his own side back control. The clue is right here. Why was Schiff predicting acquittal before the trial had even started? If he really possessed unquestionable evidence, that's the calculation of a political showman who understands that show is more important than content, not the confidence of someone who is standing on facts. Schiff was acting in front of the cameras, not the Constitution. Fairness never came into play. Influence, media attention, and gaining points for Team Blue were the main goals for him and his supporters. Bill Maher intervenes at that precise moment and issues the challenge.
Let's stop talking about Trump. We talk about him too much. We want to tell people what we're going to do for them. Yeah. Healthcare, environment, those kind of issues. For example, I've seen you on TV a lot in the last couple of years. I know everything you know or that you tell us about the Russian situation. I don't have a clue what you think about healthcare. I've never heard it. Yeah. I don't know whether you're for Medicare for all or improve Obamacare or get a chicken. I don't know.
Bill Maher only needed one direct question to dismantle Adam Schiff's meticulously constructed story, demonstrating once more how adept Maher is at identifying political doubletalk. Schiff has relied on Trump as his favorite antagonist for almost 7 years, turning every debate into a tired chorus of "Orange man dangerous, Trump bad." However, Maher broke through the clutter with a straightforward question. Why should voters choose Democrats if Trump is really the monster you say he is? Apart from detesting him, what do you stand for? Schiff didn't know how to respond. Words were not as loud as silence. Instead of having a clear goal or being a leader, his entire brand depends on being absorbed by one rival. Additionally, Schiff's reputation suffered when the Hunter Biden laptop scandal came to light. He hurried to Hunter's defense, rejecting the evidence and even making fun of the repairman who made it public, rather than advocating for transparency. It was blind partisanship masquerading as virtue, not moral superiority.
Whistle. John Paul, we know that your life has been turned absolutely upside down because you were accused of spreading Russian disinformation. Tell us about the last few years and what led you to file this lawsuit.
Good morning, Carly. Thanks for having me on the show. Well, the last couple of years have been pretty tough. It was pretty quick out of the gate that I was labeled a hacker. And then after Adam Schiff and 51 intelligence experts decided to pen a letter and tell the rest of the American people I was a Russian asset, things have kind of...
I have to give John Paul McIsaac credit for maintaining his sense of humor, despite all the dirt that was thrown at him. Additionally, he described Adam Schiff as exactly what he was. The label fit, to be honest. In order to further his political objectives, Schiff completely changed the facts, not simply twisted them. Anyone who has the guts to expose the dubious activities connected to Hunter Biden's notorious laptop deserves praise, protection, and even appreciation for defying authority. However, Schiff's portrayal of America greeted such boldness with defamation. Schiff went on national television without pause or proof, just a heartless assault on his persona, and accused John Paul of being a Russian spy rather than looking into the truth. The media eagerly cast a whistleblower as the villain, setting the stage for a full-fledged smear campaign. America was left to see the truth buried beneath partisan rhetoric because Schiff picked the wrong target.
Well, we know that this whole smear on Joe Biden comes from the Kremlin. That's been clear for well over a year now that they've been pushing this false narrative about the vice president and his son.
Adam Schiff flatly denied any inquiry, evidence, or basic fact-checking, dismissing the Hunter Biden laptop tale on national television as nothing more than Russian propaganda. No thorough investigation, no sincere questioning, just a quick charge disguised as a national security alert. He referred to the laptop as a fraud and advised the public to disregard it, portraying the entire incident as a pre-election Kremlin ploy by Rudy Giuliani to disparage Joe Biden. The bad news is that the laptop was real. The emails were authentic. They exposed dubious activities, influence peddling, and transactions that merited investigation. This mistake wasn't innocuous. To defend his party's preferred candidate, Schiff purposefully shifted public opinion away from the truth, so he didn't just miss the mark. And now there is only silence in place of clarification or repercussions. Isn't it convenient?
A group of people who are not ideologically captured by either side. I am tired of the extremes and the extremists who dominate the debate. They have the megaphone, and we hear them more, but I don't think they represent what most people in the country talk about. I think almost any issue, you could actually come up with a reasonable middle ground.
Many of us share Bill Maher's frustration with politicians like Adam Schiff, who appear to be ideologically driven, morally duplicitous, and aggressively party-oriented rather than national. Everything turns into a political crucible when leaders don't hold their own side accountable. They're willing to condemn Donald Trump for even the slightest mistake, but as soon as a Biden family issue surfaces, it's quickly written off as Kremlin scheming. That is a startling double standard. This is about protecting the tribe at any costs, not about being truthful, equitable, or looking for the truth. These individuals are partisan operatives who are taking risks with the future of the nation, not public workers. If we don't confront them right away, their carelessness may cause the country to further deteriorate. The moment has come to confront them, expose their strategies, and prevent them from driving us to ruin.
In the year we're living in. You know, the year 2024 is just very different. Very, like night and day different from 50 years ago.
Adam Schiff epitomizes the worst qualities of American politics: mindless party devotion over ideology, hypocrisy, and double standards. He spent years obsessively criticizing Trump while brushing off real concerns, such as the Hunter Biden laptop, as Russian disinformation. When the truth eventually came to light, Schiff doubled down instead of taking responsibility. He's also not really alone. In Washington, far too many people view politics as a team sport in which winning is more important than integrity and party loyalty is more important than national security. What are you really bringing to the table if fear of the opposition is all you have to offer? Said Bill Maher. Americans want leaders with conviction, not opportunists who are only interested in making headlines. The country will continue to deteriorate if we continue to follow Schiff and others who share our beliefs. Thank you for watching, and for more, remember to like and subscribe.